You know, this wasn't even planned out. We weren't gonna go there. We didn't know we were gonna end up in there. But when we got there, I pulled out my phone and I started filming some stuff, and I'm glad we did. So a couple weeks ago, me and my buddy went out on a road trip. We road tripped all the way to the other side of the country. We looked at some retro gaming stores. We went over to some other collectors, which is a new segment on my channel that's going to come out. It's going to be called Behind the Collector, where I go and interview other collectors who have some really cool collections. I'll drop you guys some sneak previews over here. But anyways, as we're there, we come across another shop that's called Speelmarantje. So, not sure how I'm supposed to translate this. It's near Ghent. I think it's in Sint-Amandsberg. The store from the outside didn't look like much, but once you got in, it was exciting. So, after a while, I'm like, yeah, we didn't bring the mics or anything, but we should totally just tape a bit of the ambience inside this place. It's run by a guy called Marcel. He's a great guy. He's so funny when you go over there. He's constantly making you laugh. I walk in, behind the counter there's a large showcase of Game Boy games, and wouldn't you know, there's a Game Boy game I still need in there. So this is Skate or Die 2, or Skate or Die Tour de Trash. It's just a skateboarding game, but it's one I still need for my collection. This one is the follow-up, I guess, to Bad or Rad. I never see it over here, so I was so happy to find it in there. And yeah, this is the first purchase I do. Not only did we not plan going over there, but we actually came in pretty late. I think it was half an hour before the store was closing, so we didn't have time to really look around everywhere. And not only that, I didn't really have a budget to go buy stuff over there. We didn't have a chance to go to a bank before the shop was closing anyway, so with the last few euros I had in my pocket, I scooped together some of the exciting games I needed. But yeah, let's take a look at the store. The place is just packed with video games. It's filled to the brim. Everywhere you look, there's video games. In every room, every hook and cranny is just filled with games. There's a large variety too. You've got GameCube, anything by Nintendo really. And then downstairs you go to the basement and it's filled with Sega games. So most stores don't really care about Sega, but over here you can definitely see that Not only does he have Game Gear games, he has Dreamcast games, there's Sega Saturn, there's 32X games in here, and there's also a large amount of Mega Drive games. Now, I didn't find any Sega stuff, but my buddy did. He's really into Sega. One of the things he picked up over there was Terminator 2 on the Sega Master System. An okay beat-em-up platformer kind of thing. You're walking around, beating up people, jumping on trucks and down trucks. Not the best game, but what's cool about this one is that the cover, it kind of looks like a Mega Drive game, so you would actually mistake it for a Mega Drive game when it's actually a Sega Master System game. So he picks that up, but he also picks up a Sega Saturn game, and this game is called In the Hunt. And it feels like we're in the hunt right here. Games everywhere, trying to figure out, oh, we have 30 minutes left, let's just look everywhere to see what games we want to pick out here. Anyway, my buddy picks up In the Hunt on the Sega Saturn, and this game is kind of a sequel to a better known gaming series on Neo Geo. So In the Hunt is actually one of the follow-ups to Metal Slug, and of course everybody knows Metal Slug by now, or at least you should know Metal Slug by now. Metal Slug is one of those run and gun games that really gives Contra a run for its money. It's a shooter, but you're in a submarine, so you go underwater, you shoot stuff. There is so much stuff happening on the screen, but yeah, this game is amazing. Now, it did come with a hefty price tag, but my buddy was like, I've been looking for this game for forever, I never see it, and it's right here, so why not go for it? Me, I'm looking around a bit more. I was interested in some of the Game Gear games he had over here, but there's an SNES game I really like. Now, this game is called Phantom 2040. It's based on a cartoon, and it kind of feels like we're playing a Metroid game. So there's this really big open world to explore. There's a lot of platforming. You can shoot, but you also have a grappling hook. There's tons of upgrades in here. This is definitely a game you should be on the lookout for because it's tons of fun. Phantom 2040. So we look around a bit more and we find some NES games. Now there's NES games in 3 or 4 different locations over here. You got the NTSC games in one glass case. There's loads of NES games in a shelf that I didn't see at first. That's so weird. And then there's just the PAL games. So yeah, I'm gonna go for some of the NTSC games because I'm missing most of those really. And I pick up one of the worst SNES games ever, I think. I pick up Silver Surfer for 25 euros. It's kind of what the game really goes for, but I don't see it too often. Last time I did see it at a convention, it was already gone before I could even buy it. I had to bite the bullet on this one and get it right now. I did play it a bit, but yeah. It's so difficult. Once you think you found a way to complete the level, there's just like an enemy that's always gonna come across to you right before you can scooch away. The shooting is horizontal, so there's no vertical shooting or anything, so you really have to be on the same height as your enemies, which really doesn't help a lot, unfortunately. Other than that, it's fun to have this Marvel game in my collection. And that's not all. I also picked up a boxed NES game. This one is called Dungeon Magic. It's a game by Taito, so it shouldn't be too bad. It has a really interesting cover. Now, if you were a kid and you would maybe check out this game, and you would go by the cover, you would definitely think that this was kind of a medieval adventure game, type of a hack and slash game, where you could go around hacking around at people. But it's more of a point and click, so you move around through doors and hallways, and that's pretty much it. There's some dialogue in there. You search ancient caves, dank dungeons, and mysterious mages for clues to the age-old prophecy. And in the meantime, you receive some blessings and you can get some spells that you can use to further in the game. Not really a game for me, but it's a game I didn't have. So when I saw this for 15 euros with the box, I couldn't just pass up on it, really. So those were the 4 games that I picked up over there. Like I said, I didn't have a really big budget. There's a ton of more stuff that we should be able to find over at Marcel's store. Now he also has an online store. I'll leave some links down below if you want to go there. And yeah, other than that, this was just a total surprise. You know, this is the type of store you wish still existed. So anyways, we had a great time at Speelmarantje. This was one of the most fun experiences. Really surprised that stores like these still exist, really. Now this guy has 32 years of experience selling toys and stuff, and he said I just kept getting video games in and I stocked up on those, so now I'm just selling video games, and it's pretty cool. Prices are okay. Some stuff might be considered overpriced, but other stuff is priced fairly well. Yes, some great games in there, so definitely go check it out if you're in the neighborhood. Like I showed you in the beginning, lots of new videos are going to come out on Monday. There's a new upload every Monday, so be sure to subscribe, leave a like, maybe leave a comment, and I'll see you next week. Bye!